Cool. Hi, pile number 2. As I mentioned before, I don't know the name of this crystal, but the shape of it was significant because of its rigidity. The shape, again, a cube, a square. It's very exact, precise, rigid, structure, stability, a frame of reference, solid. Yeah. Okay. Now, I pulled cards yesterday before filming. I am looking at my notes real quick because there was a lot going on with this pile. Again, this is pile number 2, and I was going to read the cards in order, right? Pile 1, do-do-do, pile 2, do-do-do, you get me? But this pile was like loud, like they needed to say something then and there. And it was very intense. It was a very intense energy. I was like, let me sit with it. Let me let it like simmer. Today is Thursday, March 26, 2026. So yesterday would have been Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. So Wednesday was that energy of like, you gotta speak it. And then today, you may be feeling drained, you may be feeling tired, you may be feeling like you don't want to talk anymore, because that's what I'm feeling. Like I'm like, I feel like have like a little volume knob, and I'm just like slowly starting to like set it down. I feel it too with like the nature, because I was just filming half an hour ago, and as you can hear, it's very quiet right now. There's very few birds chirping. I think there might be like a plane going overhead somewhere, but it's still very quiet. Pile 1, I kept getting a bunch of birds, and I kept getting a bunch of airplanes. And even in between, like recording pile 1 and now, there was a lot of movement outside. There was like music, there was lots of movement outside. And now, okay, see, like birds are coming back. Yeah, now okay, I can hear the wind picking up. Yeah, so it feels like there was like an energy of like, there was a lot of energy built up, and now it's kind of like, yeah. Okay, so let's just move on. We have here, oh, okay, I don't know where to start. I'm already getting confused. I'm so sorry. I'm very confused now. Hold on. Let me reset. What was that? Okay, your energy got like really bored real quick. Damn, sorry. I felt that. You got real bored. Hold on. Yeah. You're this little guy. I think I said this, okay, literally I said this yesterday and I forgot to read it. Pile 2. I don't even know what I wrote. The past has marked you. Okay, I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing at my messy writing. Because like I said, your energy was crazy yesterday. Um, and sorry, crazy is not the right word, not the appropriate word. It was just intense. And sporadic. Um, yeah, I'm getting like tongue twisted right now. And I literally have all my notes here. Okay. So your energy is on your mind. The past has marked you, yes, but your forward path looks clear and smooth. You make it so. This is the part that was really loud, and this is what I was remembering right now, is that you make it so. The cube shape speaks of rigidity. You've been rigid, you've been shaped through rigid conditions. You do not have to let it continue though. And this is what I underlined. Be the wall that other things crash into. Because what I was getting right now with like your energy feeling bored and just feeling like disconnected, like, oh, this lady is talking too much, which I get it. I've been there. There's something again about being rigid and like that black and white mentality of like, oh, it has to be this way or that way. And that was what kind of caused you to get bored and kind of be like, oh, let me just click off or let me get a different pile. Which it's okay. You can do that. That's no problem. But I know, like you know, when you get that first instinct of like, oh, that's my pile. And then you're like, nah. It's usually because you don't want to hear what's happening. I'm laughing because I do it too, friend. And the reason why I started getting all confused and tongue twisted. Jesus, see, I don't even know those terms. I don't speak like this. Even though I was tripping over my words, I was trying to figure out what order to say, introduce like the tarot deck. Obviously you can see it here, you can read it, but I didn't know like what way to introduce everything. So maybe that's what you're like having issues with. Like you're having trouble trusting yourself and trusting your intuition and trusting that you know what way you're going. Again, it has to do with like this rigid structure of like maybe you grew up under really rigid, strong belief systems that didn't allow for like other stuff. But that shaped you, and now you can be the thing that other things crash into. Like you're dense. Like you're good. It's just like you're maybe forgetting that. And it's okay. It happens to all of us. Yeah, yesterday I did notice that there was some like similarities between pile 1 and pile 2. What I was saying right now about like you forgetting that you can be the hard thing that other things crash into, like you could be the wall, you can be the new structure. Pile 1, I was talking about like you're forgetting that what the universe is given to you was not so much out of like forcing you to grow or forcing you to change or anything like that. It's just because that's an option and the universe felt like you wanted that option and gave it to you. So when you remember, actually I don't want that option, or actually I don't want to like, I no longer want to be this rigid thing, I want to be smooth, or you know, whatever, you can just change. Okay, that's making more sense. Let's move on. The angel of space clearing. What I mentioned then, yeah, again, I'm getting like confused again. Lots of mental noise. Again, pile 1 talked about noise and music, specifically like healing with music. So that could be something that you're in need of. yeah, there's just so much noise. Sorry, I'm just looking through my notes and I feel like I forgot something here with you. And I'm so sorry, Pile 2. I'm like trying to find it now. And I don't have it. Okay, I guess I'll just go off what I remember. Angel of Space Clearing. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Okay, the birds are back, the airplanes are back. Okay, we're back in business. Okay, we're back in business. What I was saying yesterday, what I was getting, the colors here, blue for the throat chakra. Sorry. Blah, 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 right? We're forgetting what the fuck we're saying. Yellow, solar plexus chakra, has to do with your confidence, how you embody what you want. Again, pile 1, we talk about that. Here I talked about this is like the past and this is the future side, okay? And you can see how in the past it's dark. These lines here, the paths that are written across or drawn across this person's face, they're kind of windy. There's separate routes to take, and there's a gas shear, right? Blue, throat chakra, yellow, solar plexus chakra, kind of orange, sacral plexus chakra. Definitely we have the red all over, right? The root chakra. And yet in the future, the same lines are now smooth and they're direct. There's no separation, there's no disconnect, there's no pondering, there's no crossroads, there's no blockages. You just do. So perhaps right now you're overthinking that decision of clearing, of letting go. I'll be looking at the guidebook at the end. We have here for the past King of Bones, or King of Wands in this case. In the present, 10 of Wands, 10 of Bones. And in the future, 6 of Pentacles. As I mentioned, this is the Supernatural Tarot deck. I also kept the card, from the bottom of the deck as what's hidden. And that is the Page of Goblets, or in this case, the Page of Cups. So, for the past, the King of Wands, King of Wands. Wands refer to fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Specifically for this deck, we have here God. Dang, I'm totally blanking on what his name is. Sorry, not God, Metatron. Although, if you watch the show, spoilers perhaps, although it's been out and ended for so many years, at one point Metatron does become God, so, or he's playing God. And that's the song that I channeled yesterday, Playing God by Paramore. Specifically with the lyrics at the top of the song, I can't make my own decisions or make any with precision. that brought me back to this card and how the paths here are kind of broken. They're winding. They're not as smooth as these, right? So perhaps even when you have made decisions in the past, they haven't gone like you hoped. Because I have here, perhaps you felt untouchable or invincible. Not necessarily in like, well, there's two options. Perhaps before you were coming from like this grandiose, better than thou type energy. Spirit is telling you to let that go. Or the past is telling you something about yourself that you no longer align with. Old belief systems can be dangerous if we no longer align with them in the future, in the present, and we're just like creating this clashing energy, which just leads to more chaos, more uncertainty, more anxiety, more pain, more suffering, more delays. There's a crow flying around. I hadn't noticed any, I wasn't looking particularly outside of the window for pile 1, but I happened to be looking out of the window this time. So maybe windows are significant to you, crows are significant to you. Yeah. For the present, the 10 of Wands. I wanted to first acknowledge that you're tired. You're exhausted. You're contemplating your past, your direction, your timing. Going back to it, I said you are one or two piles, or sorry, not one or two piles, but one or two collectives. One where maybe you were like, maybe you placed yourself above everyone. Maybe you thought you were, high and mighty. We have those moments. We do. Why not? Or the other part where, you might be telling yourself that you're not worthy. You're undeserving. You're not good enough. And, now you're stuck in an energy of like, shit, have I really been going about my life like that? Have I been really living in this energy? Have I been really acting this way? Yeah. This character, Castiel, or Cass, he's an angel, a fallen angel in Supernatural. I did note here that the name could be significant. Cass, Cassandra, Cassie, Castiel. I mean, that feels like a very specific name, but if it's out there, it's out there. Maybe you or of someone who are also Supernatural fans and they named their child Castiel. I don't know. Or pet. Yeah. But this character in Supernatural, they always try to do their best, even until the bitter end. His sacrifice was for the greater good, but it wasn't enough. People still suffered, good and bad people. Bad people got their consequences, and good people felt a loss. Two things can be true at once. I'm feeling called to hold these together. Oh, wow. See how even in this card, like the red and the blues are here? They're both on him, right? They're both casting a shadow. They're both on him. They're both on this it's like a duality of like, of I have and I don't. I could, but I won't. Oof, that felt heavy. Oof, I could, but I won't. Oof, that felt heavy. 2020 on the clock. I don't normally notice these things, but I'm noticing them right now. So 2020 could be significant. The year 2020. What's that in military time? 8:20. Yeah, I think that's military time. 8:20. 8:20 p.m. 2020. 8:20 a.m. No, 8:20 p.m. or 2020. The year 2020, COVID. Maybe something that you've been holding on to since then. I don't know. That obviously that didn't happen while I was fucking writing this and channeling before. Yeah. So I said two things can be true at once. And again, 2022, the number 2 is very significant. You might be seeing that 222, 2020, like I said, or 22, or just 2. Pile 2. Oh my God. Be glad you've come so far, is what I wrote here yesterday. Be glad you've come so far. In the show itself, there's sorry for my stomach. In the show itself, there's an episode of a musical where these high schoolers, I think, make a musical of Supernatural because they believe it to just be like a book series. Significant if you know the series. And they have a song called The Road So Far. The road so far. Something like that. Yeah. That song is significant. It talks about the story, of course, of like these brothers and like what they've gone through and like the shit that they've gone through. Like, if you know the show, fuck, you know all the shit they go through. If you don't know the show, they fucking literally go through hell and back so many fucking times over fucking how many seasons? 10 seasons? 13 seasons? I don't remember. Too many seasons. These poor boys. You also, you poor friend, you poor soul. Maybe you resonate with that energy of just like always going boom, getting fucking slammed with shit again and again and again and again and again. Just boom, boom, just being shaped and molded and compacted and just I'm getting like the moment in Monsters Inc. where they compact trash and like the trash chute, and Sully thinks that Boo has been crushed into a cube. That fool's like dying. And then he realizes everything's okay. That could be significant here too. Let's continue. The future. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, so again, going back to like the end of this message, just be glad to be where you're at now. And the 6 of Pentacles talks about taking a moment to look back on your growth and grieve if you need to. Yeah, I channeled this other song. Again, pile 1 is very significant with music. But for this pile, I channeled 2 songs, Playing God by Paramore and oh shoot, Karmadame. I think that's how you say it. Karmadame by Zoe. It's in Spanish. The lyrics that I was specifically channeling are Llora si eso te ayuda a sanar. In English, that means cry if that helps you heal. So, again, 6 of Pentacles. I know this is Pentacles. This is Earth energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But its opposite is water. that might be what you should seek. Polarity, duality. We talked about that again. So, cry if you need to. And if you need a space to cry, I hope I can give that to you. I hope that you feel safe enough to cry here. You feel safe enough to be weird here. And just be. I have no interest in gaining something from you. I don't even know you. I'm not that kind of person. Maybe you think you're that kind of person. I'm getting that part of like weird psychology where you think, oh, I must be such a bad person, but it's actually like the opposite. Like you worry so much about being so bad, but you're actually so good. I'm getting specifically like, in my case, I'm a single mom, and I really often doubt that I'm a good mom and that I'm not doing enough and I need to be doing more and all these things, right? But then I hear people talk about my son, and it's always beautiful compliments. It's always how he's so sweet and funny and thoughtful and kind. And then I look at him and I'm like, oh, he's healthy, he's happy, he's smart, he's creative, he's all these beautiful things. Like, I'm tripping. The airplanes are back. Airplanes might be significant. I didn't mention them at all in pile 1 because I was just really into the message, but right now it's really significant that you pay attention to those kinds of things for some reason. Maybe travel. Again, I feel like something is connected where like when you clear stuff, it makes room for new things. So the polarity is like if you're clearing stuff in your home or like in your internal surroundings, like your surroundings, that could open your world to something bigger. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I hope I'm right. Hidden. We got the Page of Goblets or the Page of Cups. I wrote here Pentacles on my freaking notes. I'm wrong. Page of Cups. Page of Goblets. So let me scratch that, because originally I had said slow and steady, but I got confused. This is the Page of Cups. It makes more sense now what we're doing here. Is that, going back to this character, Becky from Supernatural. I mentioned previously about how there was a book series, right? And this gets complicated. In the show, right? The show is like the boys. Yeah, but that's just their lives, right? That's just their lives. That's the family business, hunting animals. Sorry, hunting. You know what I'm talking about. But in their world, there's books of like their activities, of their hunts and all these things, and like the high schoolers get to it. Well, she's like the author or like the publisher behind the books, right? What I wanted to say is Becky was problematic to say the least, but she manifested the fuck out of what she wanted. She let her freak flag fly. I think that's kind of what I was getting at earlier, is like if you want to like cry here, if you want to be weird here, whatever, like this is the space to do it. We're at 29 minutes and 23 seconds. Like, I think you'll have a good cry in this moment if you haven't already. But yeah, it's just going back to that, right? She let her freak flag fly and she made money from it. So that's what I was getting at from like the Pentacles. But yeah, anyway, envision what you want, expose what's no longer present, and express yourself, your new self, freely. Yeah, that's the advice that I got from that card. Envision what you want. Expose what's no longer present, what you no longer need, right? Space clearing. And express your new self freely. I'm gonna read from the guidebooks now. Angel of Space Clearing, page 35, so that may be significant, and or the number 8. The Angel of Space Clearing has shown up in your reading today to help you clear the negative thoughts, patterns, and feelings which have surfaced recently as a result of your dwelling on past mistakes and regrets. These unconstructive thoughts and feelings are the primary source of stress in your life at present. Not only are they causing you to feel confused, they are also preventing positive new energies from entering your life. Yeah, pile 1, I mentioned the same thing about how because we're human and we make mistakes, we tell the universe, I want A, B, C, and D. And we're like, A, B, C, and D. And we're waiting. Where's A, B, C, and D? Where's A, B, C, and D? A, B, C, and D. And we get so like stuck on the idea of A, B, C, and D that we're ignoring universe being like, hey girl, hey boy, hey them, hey friend, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want these? And you're like, no, I'm waiting for A, B, C, and D. When we're, in reality, we're getting stuff. We're getting something. We're just getting stuck on the idea of like, it needs to be this one thing. Close your eyes and feel the loving presence of the beautiful angel who is here to help you clear and heal all these unwanted thoughts and emotions. Imagine yourself being showered with light. Imagine a beam of rainbow-colored light penetrating your heart, while another beam of rainbow light penetrates your mind. Feel your thoughts and perceptions begin to relax and your emotions becoming clear, calm, and balanced. Now give thanks to God and your angel for this wonderful healing. If you don't subscribe to God like I do, you can substitute for universe, source, spirit, and any other word that you use. Pachamama, Mother Earth, Gaia, Pangea, Pantheon. I just heard that one recently. Okay. Oh, sorry. This was angels, gods, and goddesses. The last thing that I was going to say about that card, the Angel of Space Clearing, they mentioned rainbows quite a few times. Pile 1 had a couple of rainbows in their cards. Just saying. Okay. And I will read through these. Yeah. So again, this is for the Wands. The King of Wands is an innovative, passionate leader with an independent streak. This tarot card reminds you that your imagination is one of your most valuable assets. Whether you're taking down the Word of God like Metatron or crafting your own brilliant narrative, use your creativity wisely to achieve your goals. Yeah, the power of thought, right? The power of those belief patterns. There's a lot of power in them. You can choose to let it sit and fester and be yuck because that's what you inherited. Or you can choose to change it up. And it's not gonna be easy. I'm pretty sure this is gonna talk about that. I just throw the word burdens. All right, 10 of Wands. After helping the Winchesters prevent the apocalypse, Castiel finds himself in the precarious position of trying to secretly collaborate with both the brothers and Crowley while fighting a civil war in heaven. Full of doubt, he prays to God to tell him if he's on the right path. 10 of Wands represents the feeling of being exhausted by heavy burdens. This card advises you to make sure the responsibilities you're choosing to take on are really yours to carry. Yeah. They could just be old fragments of the way you grew up, and they're not yours. I wasn't gonna do this, but I have to. Earlier I said that word, shit. I'm gonna look it up right now. I literally just got this book from the library today. Adult Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers. If you know, you know. Grandiose, that's the word I was getting. Because this book says there are 2 types of narcissists, grandiose or vulnerable. Now, you may have grown up with a narcissist, and maybe that's what you're falling back on, those patterns. Just remember, you can acknowledge it and be like, yo, I'm tripping. I mean, pull back. It's hard. Of course it is. 6 of Pentagrams for the future. Balance and flow are the themes of the 6 of Pentagrams tarot card. It indicates the exchange of wealth, reminding you to be charitable when you're in a position of abundance. Conversely, the 6 of Pentagrams reminds you it's okay to ask for and accept help when you need it. Yeah. Maybe these 2 characters are very significant, right? In Supernatural. Obviously. Well, if you know. But I'm reminding. Sorry. These 2 characters are very important. Castiel comes out, I think, in like season 2 or 3. Metatron comes out like much later on, I think in like season 7, 8, or 9. But that could mean that, just like the Winchesters, they needed guidance from specific like Castiel. Metatron at some point, yes, did provide guidance, but that got murky real quick because of his own selfish desires. Perhaps you know what I'm talking about? ... No judgment. So perhaps right now with the 6 of Pentacles, that's what you might be looking for. You should perhaps consider a mentor, counseling, a teacher of sorts. Yeah, could be helpful. I know for myself it has been helpful because I grew up with a narcissistic mother, so it's quite helpful to have an outside voice. Page of Goblets, Page of Cups. The Page of Cups represents a dreamer who's fueled by their own curiosity, like superfan Becky Rosen. Becky gets swept up in her romantic fantasies and sometimes loses sight of reality. The Page of Cups tarot card advises you to keep dreaming big, but make sure your feet are on the ground. Sometimes this card heralds the start of a new close friendship or relationship. Yeah, I was just saying, you might consider looking for a mentor, a friend, a counselor, a teacher, a coworker, a sibling, maybe a parent. I mean, maybe I'm just projecting and that's not you. But if you're going through something like I'm going through, yeah, it's not, birth family, it's not blood family, but it can be your chosen family. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you needed to hear that, let me be the one to tell you, there's nothing wrong with choosing your own family, your own values, your own desires, your own wants, your own needs, defining them all on your own. You can do it. And it'll take lots of energy. It'll be exhausting. But it brings in balance. So, dream it, see it, achieve it. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, that's all I have for you, pile 2. I just want to remind you to be kind to yourself. I usually don't say that, but I feel really called to say that to you. Carl, maybe that name is significant. Carl. It reminds me of Jimmy Neutron. Maybe that's significant with your childhood. 6 of Pentacles sometimes refers to childhood and just looking back. So maybe that's part of your childhood, Jimmy Neutron. Maybe you learned something from Jimmy Neutron. I had this thing here and I forgot to bring it earlier, but I feel called to share it with y'all. Again, the polarity, the duality. The colors, you know, seem to mix, but they're not. They're separate. They're separated by that, by a wall. I'm getting like perhaps you are the wall, or you've created a wall and like you're stepping away from specific people or a situation or a relationship or a job, maybe school. It's okay. So they're both still here. It just looks a little bit different. Right? You're on this side, they're on that side. That's okay. And then when you guys meet, there's a shift. And when you don't, that's okay too. It just depends. What do you want? And, you know, you might not get that answer today or tomorrow until you sit with it. Face it head on. Ask yourself, what is my heart desire? And then move with intention, with that clarity. Okay. Thanks, pile 2. Get some rest. If you cried, wash your face, drink some water. I saw 43:43 on the clock, so that might be significant. 77, 77. Yeah, friends, just hang in there. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of friendship, lots of companionship, belonging, community, love, acceptance, peace, joy, togetherness. Yeah. You got this, pile 2. Thank you.